It is Monday, June the 10th, 2024. I am James. You are you. We are here for another thrilling episode of the At Home with James program. Getting ever so close to the 500 mark. Now, we've had a lot of milestones. And as time goes on, as the days go on, as the months go on, as the years go on, as the episode go on, I think to myself, well, how do you effectively celebrate these milestone episodes? And I've been tinkering with an idea for the 500th. What if that's just it? What if we do 500 and we're done? And then a week later, Monday, 9 o'clock would hit, and I'd think, why did I stop this? What is my life without this show? It'd be like breaking up with someone. You think, I'm going to play the field. There's a lot of people out there that want a piece of this. Then you dump them. The one person that loved you. You get out there, you hit the bars, you hit the town, you hit the scene, and nobody wants a piece of you. That's exactly what would happen every single Monday if I gave up this show. That's why, and I didn't plan this, I'm here to announce once we hit 500 episodes, we will do an additional 500 episodes and then recalibrate at the 1,000th episode to see where we are at. And when I say we, that means I cannot make the decision single-handedly. I have to make it with my closest confidant. If I had a group of friends that I was breaking up into tiers, this particular man would make it into the S tier, meaning he's special. Let's please welcome the co-host, the co-pilot, or as I like to refer to him as, the side piece, the one and the only Dave Kaufman. Dave, what do you think? Breaking news. We're doing 1,000 episodes of the show.
Hey, why end there?
Well, it took us, I think this is 480 something, 86 maybe. Took 4 years to get to this point, so it'll take roughly, let's just call it an even 10 years of doing this show.
Well, how long did Johnny Carson do the Tonight Show?
My God, I think he started in the 60s until 92.
Well, there you go, James. We got to beat that record.
All right, so our goal is to try to outdo the number of Tonight Show. Well, he did every night. Monday, yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We used to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
That's
Friday.
True.
What's your thoughts on what if we do, like, to commemorate 500 episodes?
Mm-hmm.
We do an old school week where we do 5 episodes in a week.
What are my thoughts on that?
Yeah.
I mean,
how likely do you think it is to have? I think very unlikely.
We would have to bump it back an hour, I think. As long as I can get my kids to bed on the night that I have to put them to bed, on the nights that I put them to bed.
This show predates your kids.
That's true. And my daughter's turning 4 years old.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. You know, it's warms my heart.
All right. Well, Father's Day is coming up this Sunday. Dave, any special plans?
Well, it's also my daughter's birthday party, so we're going to be celebrating her that day.
Your daughter's birthday party is this Sunday?
That's correct.
Dave, you invited me off air. Sadly, I wasn't aware it was this Sunday. I cannot make it.
Oh, what do you got?
I will be at Fafun Electric preparing for another brand new live pro wrestling Battle War event. I can't make it.
The party's at 10 a.m., James.
10 a.m.? Well, I'm going to let you know right now I'm working from 11 to 1. I'm teaching an improv class.
Wow, that's a lot of excuses.
Well, they're all real.
I believe you.
Why don't you come to the wrestling show after the party at night? Celebrate Father's Day. If you had an access pass to get out of the house, it's that.
That's true, actually. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I'll pull the old Father's Day card.
Why don't you invite a couple other fathers?
Maybe I will. You know, I've been meaning to get the boys together and come on down to the wrestling show.
Yeah. Well, the boys love wrestling shows.
Oh, man, these boys, they love them.
Dave, tonight's all about bold predictions. The last time we did this was 2021. I'm curious to know if you have any bold predictions for tonight's episode. They have to be bold. They have to be bold predictions.
Here's a bold prediction. Our internet's not going to go down.
Well, it did go down last week.
Did it?
No, I'm incorrect. It went down the week before
The week
during Great
before.
Canadian Covers.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so your bold prediction is the internet doesn't go down.
I also think someone's going to say something a little controversial.
Okay, well, it is bold predictions
It's
night.
bold predictions, yeah. And I think that one of us is going to fall in love.
Well, all right. Well, any predictions as to who?
No, that's the cards only give me vague premonitions. I don't have the full
Well,
picture.
what if it's you?
It could be. That would
That would
pose
be
huge problems
difficult.
for me.
That would be difficult. As far as I know, you're still in love with your wife.
I am in love with my wife. If I fell in love tonight, it would be massive problems for my life.
I think it's possible for someone to fall in love with two people. Happens all the time.
I suppose you're right.
I would love if you got to fall in love again. I think it would be exciting for you. You don't have to do anything about it.
That's true, but I think I don't want to rattle that snake.
Isn't it rattle that cage?
What?
Rattle that cage?
It's a rattlesnake, James.
Yeah, but you can't rattle a snake.
You can
I guess
rattlesnake.
I guess you could rattle their emotions.
You could rattle the rattle.
All right. Well, Dave, why don't we get into it?
Sure.
Last time this person was on the show, it was I think, the most technical difficulty episode in the history of the program.
Yeah. The whole
And
thing
that's
got
why
shut
he's
down.
back tonight. We have to do a make good for this man. He's been here since the beginning. He's seen it all. All right. Well, I thought maybe you'd have a comment on that, but apparently not. You had to take a sip out of your.
Sorry, I thought you were in the
bottle.
middle of a spiel, James. Try it again.
No,
Try it
no,
again.
I was engaging.
Try one more time.
Let's welcome to the show, Joe Conto. Joe, welcome back.
I'm unmuted. The chains are off. I can speak.
Yeah, free again, Joe. Welcome back to
Free
the
again.
program.
You don't know what it's like for me not to be able to comment. It's a nightmare.
Well, I thought Dave was going to comment on how I was kind of vamping up for you here.
Yeah, me too. But he just sort of looked off to the side and took a sip of his water.
He couldn't have cared less.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Here from the beginning.
When I was looking
Yeah.
off to the side, I was looking at your shot, Joe, so I can bring you onto screen. It wasn't
Oh,
because I
thank
wasn't
you.
looking at
It's
James.
it's a ironclad excuse.
It's perfect, in fact, really.
Joe, thanks for coming back in such short notice. It was only a couple short weeks
Always
ago.
my pleasure. Yes.
Well, the pleasure's all mine. It was a real mix-up a couple weeks ago. So, on behalf of
It
Dave
was.
and his shoddy internet, I want to formally apologize.
Please don't worry about it one bit.
I'd like to apologize on behalf of Richard Branson, owner of Virgin Internet, who effed us on that night.
Is that who provides you internet?
That's right, Sir Richard Branson.
No kidding.
Yeah.
British.
Joe, do you remember what was happening that night? Because I do.
Wait a minute. What was I doing on the show that night?
You came on the air and your voice was the
What
little
I'm
hoarse.
doing? I feel like I was.
You were essentially breaking news.
Then I don't remember. I thought I had a froggy voice.
You did.
It was a little froggy, and,
Did I?
and
Yeah.
we,
Because in the spring I get a
I
froggy
had
voice.
you announcing assassinations,
Oh, that's
things
right.
of that nature.
That's right. Breaking news.
Joe, I know that tonight's all about bold predictions,
Yes.
but when I was chatting with you earlier about coming on the show, I said, I have an idea. Do you trust me?
Yeah, and I said no. I said absolutely not.
I've cooked something up
Okay.
inspired by a couple weeks ago that I think you'll have fun.
Okay. All right.
What's so funny, James?
Well, we'll get to it. Joe, I've sent you some text in your email inbox. Now,
Right.
even without a froggy or hoarse voice,
Mm-hmm.
you've got a great voice. This is coming from someone who's done just a little bit of voiceover work in the past.
Certainly.
You've got classic vocals, and I thought, why not put those vocals to use tonight?
Okay.
And
Okay.
have you read some what I imagine would be maybe some like radio commercials.
Yes.
And then maybe Dave, you can give some thoughts on the reads, on the delivery, things like
Oh.
that.
How fun! So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be judged live on the air
Well, not
for something
judged,
that I
but
don't do professionally. I
well,
think
Dave,
it's
what do you
great.
think?
Well, Joe, I don't think you should be nervous or anything. I think that if anything, this should be an ego boost for you because your voice is so damn sexy.
Yeah.
Possibly. But I do remember the 2 years when my pumpkins were trashed, and that one year that you told me that my homemade Christmas cookie looked and tasted like it was something that you would buy at IGA. So
Who told
yeah,
you that? Me?
I don't
That
forget.
was
I
yeah,
don't
Dave.
forget
I
things.
don't believe that Dave said it with any type of ire. I don't think he was trying to knock you down any
Now,
pegs.
I mean, these IGA cookies, they're some of the greatest cookies you can buy.
Joe, it's funny you mention it because I was at IGA in their baked goods section. I took a photo of one box and sent them to Dave and said, "These look just like Joe's Christmas cookies."
Those cookies, I took so long with them. When they came out of the oven, I took a mason jar and did this so they'd be perfectly circular. You know what I'm
They
talking
weren't.
about?
Joe, your cookies came in second place, man.
Yeah, but did you see third place? Oh, okay.
Thomas Barnwell's.
Barnwell. Yeah.
In fairness, I voted for yours in third place. So,
Those are
Joe,
good cookies.
what you're saying is you're waiting for a pie in the face tonight.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't look at it that way, Joe. I feel like this we're setting you up for success right now.
Yeah.
Good. All
Yeah,
right.
we're I think accentuating your talents and skills.
Do you notice I should get a second ring light? Do you notice that my beard looks much better in the light of the phone glow?
I think you look great all the time.
Your beard looks great in both lights, but I do see that it gives you a little angelic
A little
glow.
whiter.
Yeah.
I was really thinking this summer or about putting on whatever goes on your beard to get rid of all the yellowy and just make it white.
Now, how interested would you be in for the show putting
No.
some Just for Men on it?
Oh, when I first started going gray, I would use Just for Men. The trouble with Just for Men, and I would do that for sure, just for fun, because it only
Nice.
lasts a couple of days. You know, your beard grows so quickly.
True.
Not
Okay.
mine.
Well, something new to write down here. So, Joe, like I mentioned, I've sent you a couple products, things of that nature for you to do a read on, and
I
it's
see it in my
inspired by
email, yeah.
yeah, it's inspired by some of the reads that you did a couple weeks ago. Dave, are you ready to hear the first one?
I'd love to, yeah.
And Joe, if at any point you got to restart, take it from the top, feel free.
I
You can
will
open it up right now, and I need to be
Okay.
clear. Joe has not. Dave doesn't even know what these are.
No.
Yeah.
Ugh. I saw one word. One word. All right. What kind do you read? Do you want a bright read on this?
Yeah, I think very similar to the ones you were doing a couple weeks ago. Like, hey everybody.
Hey, gang.
But be inspired. Be inspired.
Right. Like all this month, Kohl's has denim. Like
I don't even think you have to put that much
Not that
mustard.
hard,
I
not
think the
that
way
hard.
you were doing it, just with kind of that deep read, was good.
Hey, gang, like that.
Mm-hmm.
So wait a minute. So this is an advertisement, right?
Yes.
But is it like on the radio when the talk show host makes an announcement for one of their sponsors? But I'm both.
Why don't
I'm
we try that?
concerned, but
What?
I'm also
Yeah.
that. Yes.
Yeah. Why don't we try that?
Okay.
Dave is anxiously awaiting here.
I was just wondering if that was part of it, if this was
Yeah.
all part of the read that I didn't know about.
Hey, gang, Joe Conto here. Summer is right around that corner, and that can only mean one thing: great times with good friends. Make the most of hot days and long summer nights with cold and refreshing Coors Light iced tea. The refreshing snap of freshly brewed iced tea blended with our high quality lager, and you'll have to reach for your clit in no time. Available all summer long where beer and Coors products are sold. So what are you waiting for? Get your hands on a clit before summer is over. That's gross. I don't even have a clit.
Well,
Hold on.
Oh, but I could. I get
Is
it
it-
now. But I could.
yeah, it's a Coors Light iced tea.
I see that there are more. I didn't. I thought that was the only one.
And there's a few more.
Scroll.
Dave, what do you think? It feels like Joe kind of lost confidence along the way.
It started off really
was
fantastic.
great.
It was great. I was,
I'm
you
nervous.
know,
Yeah.
you didn't seem
Joe.
nervous on the start. I think that once you hit the acronym, you sort of veered off the road of confidence into a little road of self doubt and.
Yeah.
But that said, I would buy a Coors Light iced tea just by virtue of that read through. So I think you did a really good job.
I don't use that word,
Where's Light Iced Tea?
the acronym. I don't use that word a lot.
Well, I'm so glad that we could do it. Dave, what do you think? Do we need another read on that? Because I feel like
On
he's
that
still,
one?
I feel like the Coors people might appreciate a full confidence as he's going down the confidence highway.
I think, you know what? It's an acronym. It has an alternative meaning. I think that you have to ignore the alternative meaning and really
Yeah.
sell it as the ad that it's meant to be.
Think about the refreshing snap of that iced tea.
Freshly brewed iced tea.
Yeah.
I will say that third paragraph is written with in a punctuation manner that makes it tough to catch a breath, and I think
Yeah.
that was part of it too. Yeah.
It could be. And coming in from the chat, high score run writes the Coors Light iced tea are hard to find. So right away, it's already working. It's put kind of a worm in people's ear.
Oh, people are out looking.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So you want me to take that one again, or go to the
What do you
next?
think, Dave, from the top?
from the top, and yeah, I've never come across a Coors Light iced tea.
And you know what? I should really punch Coors Light iced tea. I mean, after all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So stupid. Hey, gang, Joe Conto here. Summer is right around that corner, and that could only mean one thing: great times with good friends. Make the most of the hot days and long summer nights with a cold and refreshing Coors Light iced tea. The refreshing snap of breast. God, take it again. I'm going to take it right from that paragraph.
Yeah, well, we could splice it together after.
Yeah. The refreshing snap of freshly brewed iced tea blended with our high quality lager will have you reaching for a clit in no time. Available all summer long where beer and Coors. I'm going to take it from that start. Available all summer long where beer and Coors products are sold. So what are you waiting for? Get your hands on a clit before summer is over. With some splicing, that's a great read.
I think you have three pieces there. You take the best of each three piece, and
look, Joe's under a lot of pressure because, again, when you're in the booth, you don't ever really do it straight. You just go, and then if you make a mistake, you take it from the top, and they'll just piece things together. And that's an error that people make. They think they have to nail it, where you just do it, take a breath, do the next line. Joe, I thought you did a hell of a job for a live read.
And remember, this is a cold read. This is a fully cold read.
Yeah, this is true. Are we ready for the next one, Dave?
I am. I mean, I'm already very impressed by the first one, so I can't wait to hear the next one.
Okay. What have I done? Hey, gang. Nope, no good. Hey, gang, Joe Conto here again. Fun in the Sun is coming to White Plains, New York this summer, and you're invited. Join us on June 22nd through June 29th at Tibbetts Park for 8 days of food, activities, and so much more as part of White Plains Summer Spectacular Festival. Fun for the whole family, including face painting. Please, I'm reading ahead. Fun for the whole family, including face painting, petting zoos, and water baths for the kids. Fun for the whole family, including face painting, petting zoos, and water pads for the kids. The festivities include oh, shit.
Joe, you're doing really well, so don't.
No, I'm not.
No, you
But
are.
This is okay.
What now? What if we took it from the entire top?
You want me to start the top? I probably feel better about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And rolling.
Hey, gang. Joe Conto here again. Fun in the Sun is coming to White Plains, New York this summer, and you're invited. Join us on June 22 through June 29 at Tibbetts Park for 8 days of food, activities, and so much more as part of White Plains Summer Spectacular Festival. Fun for the whole family, including face painting, petting zoos, and water pads for the kids. The festivities continue throughout the night with a cigarette smoking tent, line dancing, and live music. with performances by the Paul Edgar Band, Kelly Mays, and Mike O'Donnell and the Ass Grabbers. Let me take that last again real quick.
Yeah.
Fun for the whole family, including face painting, petting zoos, and water pads for the kids. The festivities, the festivities. Fun for the whole family, including face painting, petting zoos, and water pads for the kids. The festivities continue throughout the night with cigarette smoking tent, line dancing, and live music, with performances by Paul Edgar Band, Kelly Mays, and Mike O'Donnell and the Grass Grabbers. With performances by the Paul Edgar Band, Kelly Mays, and Mike O'Donnell and the Ass Grabbers.
You know,
Could you work with that?
Yeah, I think that we got enough there that we can put it
you know,
together.
it's almost like the comedy behind the content is secondary to the like. Let me take that again. Oh, let me.
I'm a professional. You know that about me.
Dave, what do you think about the White
The
Plains
cigarette
Summer
thing, you don't
Spectacular
know-
Festival?
It's funny, James. It's the cigarette smoking tent that got me.
Yeah,
Because
I thought so.
Well, festivities too got you a little
It
bit.
reminded me, of the fairgrounds when I was a kid. We went to the fair every year.
Yeah. I like the misread, and it turned into Mike O'Donnell and the Grass Grabbers.
Yeah, I know. Because I was skipping ahead to Grabber.
Have you ever been to Brome Fair, Joe?
What's that?
Have you ever been to Brome Fair?
No.
Okay.
What's that?
It's a fair in Brome, which is about an hour outside of Montreal.
Is it fun?
Yeah, they've got all sorts
Right.
of animal competitions.
Yeah, that's what we had in Malone too. It's farm town, right? So the 4-H kids would all show their whatever their. Some people had peacocks and all sorts of chickens and goats
Oh.
and cows and horses. It was kind of awesome.
Now,
Anyway,
what activities at the White Plains Summer Spectacular Festival appeal to you the most?
um, I I
Paint-
love a petting
painting.
zoo. I like
Yeah.
a petting zoo for sure. The cigarette smoking tent is probably more appealing than I care to admit.
Okay.
Um, do you ever? No, you would never. Well, because you don't ever drink a beer. But sometimes when I'm drinking a beer, because of my upbringing, I think, oh man, I'd like to have a cigarette right now.
Do you ever
Beer and have a
indulge?
cig. What's that?
You ever indulge?
Oh, sure. I've smoked cigarettes before. Yeah.
When was the last time you had a dart?
Oh, it was the late 1900s. I mean,
Wow.
Really?
probably 19. If I had to guess, the last time I smoked a cigarette at all, 1996.
How willing would you be to smoke a cigarette inside your home on the show?
Oh no.
All right. Well,
Oh.
let's go to the. There's
play
only
my
3
game.
reads. There's only one more to go.
Yeah.
I also would like to
That's
say that
one.
I thought that last one was really good.
Yeah,
Oh, thank
it made me want to go.
It does sound fun.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, all I do, I just wish our call letters were in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Brought to you by AskGrab WK77.
yeah.
Hey,
The
you-
Ask Grab sponsored radio station.
Exactly. The WKLJ Summer Jam. Hey gang, Joe Conto back again. Life sure does move fast, doesn't it? Stress can get. I was trying to be cute, sorry. Hey gang, Joe Conto back again. Life sure does move fast, doesn't it? Stress can get to even the most put together person, and that's why we're taking time to re energize is important. I just put words together. Stress can get to even the most put together person, and that's why taking time to re energize is important. I'm here to let you know that the Wiccan Wood Candle Company is here for you in times when you need to unwind the most. With over 50 products, Wiccan Wood has been serving clients for over 20 years. Browse some of our favorite and comforting scents like fresh linen, mahogany, dark amber, honey nectar, crack pipe, grandma, wet dog, street meat, cremation, and so many more. Let me take that last part. It's great. It's great. I'm here to because I was going to do the I'm here because I want people to know that they're
Yeah.
old pal, right?
Yeah.
Joe Conto's
Yeah,
endorsing this.
it's like you're like we got music coming up soon from Kelly Clarkson, but first I want to take some time to talk to
Exactly.
you about how stress can get to us.
right.
And be sure to emphasize the flavors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Smells.
All right.
What was that one's name? Oh yeah. Coming up next, a favorite from the Queen of Country Music, Miss Patsy Cline. But first, hey gang, yeah. Joe Conto back again.
Now I
I'm
thought you
sure-
were gonna do some editing there to just be like stress can get to the
Well, I was
best
going
of
to, but then
you.
I got
Yeah.
nervous. I'm
Yeah.
going to do it that way.
Yeah, why don't you take it from the top with
Yeah.
your ad libs,
Yeah.
Joe?
Yeah.
You
Coming
know,
up next, what would I call it? Coming up next, a classic from the Queen of Country Music, Miss Patsy Cline. But first, a message from our sponsor. Life sure does move fast, doesn't it? Stress can get to even the most put together person, and that's why taking time to re-energize is so important. I'm here to let you know that Wickenwood Candle Company is here for you in times when you need to unwind the most. With over 50 products and scents, Wickenwood has been serving clients for over 20 years. Browse some of our favorite and comforting scents like fresh linen, mahogany, dark amber, honey nectar, crack pipe, grandma, wet dog, street meat, cremation, and so many more. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with her number one hit, Crazy, Miss Patsy Cline. Bow, bow, bow.
That sounds like smoke on the water.
I gotta say,
Oh,
Joe,
Patsy Cline, steel guitar.
That was awesome.
that was a great read.
That was a good one.
The ad lib was really good.
You like that?
Dave, which of those candles appeals to you the most?
Oh yeah,
I was curious about honey nectar.
yeah. That sounds good, right?
Yeah.
Because it's warm. Yeah.
I think I'd go mahogany.
How about grandma? No.
Well, I mean, grandmas have some comforting scents depending on one's grandmother.
Do you remember like what a scented Kleenex smells like?
Sure.
Yeah, I kind of think about that as one of the smells of when I think of my grandma. I think
Yeah.
of like a scented puffs or a
Yeah.
scented.
Oh, yeah, because like older people are often lotiony.
Oh yeah.
Super lotiony.
Now, I have to say that Joe, I wrote those. I'm gonna come clean. I wrote those.
But this wasn't a real. I'm not getting.
I know. I wrote them, and I thought you did a great job of.
Well, I think
'Cause
they were.
I put some tongue twisters in there for you.
Yeah, I know. I noticed. I did like it when all of a sudden I went from like real nice candle scents to what was the first one?
It's a
That
sharp
was,
crack pipe.
Crack pipe.
Yeah, crack pipe. I don't know. Have you ever smelled a crack pipe?
No,
Oh, it ain't great.
Dave.
I don't believe I have, no.
All right.
You know I have.
I want to give myself a pat on the back. I think Wick and Wood Candle Company sounds real.
For sure. And I like that you said because White Plains is just far enough out of New York City that they have space, Tibbetts Park could certainly be in White Plains. It's just
It is. I did my research.
Oh,
I
was
wanted
wondering.
I wanted to put you in a false sense of comfort
Yeah.
by putting you in places or things that felt familiar to you
They might happen.
until it was time to go to the cigarette smoking
Cigarette
tent.
smoking tent. Yeah.
It's interesting.
I
I,
like
didn't realize it was Wiccan wood. I thought it was Wiccan, like witchcraft.
Oh, Wick
No,
and Wood.
Wick
Oh,
and Wood. Yeah.
that's a good note. Thank you. That's a good
Joe,
note.
I think I don't know what we have here, but I think this has legs.
The Wick and Wood Candle Company. How's that? How should that be read? Wick and Wood. The Wick and Wood. The Wick and Wood.
I
good.
think if
Wick
it
and-
if what's the line read going into the reveal of the name?
Yeah. I'm here to let you know that. I'm here.
I'd
here.
probably not try to break it up too. If it were me, I'd say
Yeah,
I'm here to
Wick
let
and
you know
Wood.
that the Wick and Wood Candle Company has been serving customers for over
Yeah.
50 years.
It's about hitting the D and, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh my God, this has got to be boring for people to watch me work that shit out.
It's not
Well,
boring
it's a
at
good
all,
thing
Joe.
no one
Wick
watches
and
this
Wood.
show. So,
I
but I
thought-
think I've said it for years. People have fun watching people have fun.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
I was just explaining that to some improv people the other
Yep.
night. They come for two things. One, watch you struggle. Two, watch you have fun struggling.
Yeah. Dave, final thoughts before we get into the bold predictions portion of the time that we have left with our friend Joe?
Well, I was going to say, I feel like, Joe, your voice is very reassuring. If I were, driving my car, tuning the radio and heard you, I'd trust that the products you were selling were top notch.
And it would be on Star 92.9.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And-
I want to see you take over the voiceover
Delilah?
work for Burlington Mitsubishi.
Oh, I was hoping that I'd be the new Delilah.
Well, I see you more as doing the ads. I think it's time for, Dave and myself, big fans of Tim Bedard, who I think is the general manager of Burlington Mitsubishi.
Yeah,
He does
Burlington
his own
Mitsubishi.
voievers. I think it's time for you to take over.
You would do a much better job, Joe.
I owned a car that was purchased at Burlington Mitsubishi.
This is
Really?
incredible.
Did you meet
Remember my
Tim?
Mitsubishi Lancer? You've ridden in it, James.
I don't recall, but I am impressed that it was from Burlington Mitsubishi.
Do you remember the night that you and I and a couple of other people got to know each other because we were all complaining about this other person?
A person that was bad at a common craft that we all share.
Yeah, exactly. That took place in the Mitsubishi Lancer.
Oh, yeah, I remember we drove downtown and went to Grumpy's.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks to Tim Bedard. Well, Joe, with the time that we got left before we move on to our next guest, would you like to hit us with some of the bold predictions? The bold predictions was mostly a red herring for you, but I did ask you to come up with some.
Yeah. I've got to say, that one of my former bold predictions has come true.
Which is the bold prediction?
Well, we'll talk about that off air.
We did this in 2021. I'm trying to remember. Were you on that episode?
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't recall.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was about, it included you, and it included certain people there was a bevy of people who were regulars on the show at that time. And I made a prediction.
Well, you'll have to remind me off air.
I will.
All right, fair enough.
It's
Getting a little nervous here.
Ominous.
Yeah, it was a little ominous.
Yeah. Bold prediction for 2024. I think I will do something either purposely or inadvertently that will prevent me from being able to cross the border back and forth so easily.
Oh, that's an
Between
awesome
US and
prediction.
Canada. I feel it.
Well, I hope it isn't true, but I like that you went bold and it is realistic.
Yes.
Now, what would cause that to happen if you brought something over the border that you shouldn't, for sure?
Yeah, but that's not.
Maybe they
I wouldn't
accidentally
do that.
hear some of these voiceovers and think he's advocating for crack and stuff.
Or he's working in a country that isn't his own.
True.
Yeah.
Not that happens.
No, but I wouldn't do any of those things,
Yeah.
But I feel like I cross over so often that I could do something and not know that I wasn't supposed to do it.
You ever see any of the same border agents that recognize you?
Oh, sure. Yeah. And some of them do mention like comedy. They go, oh, here's the comedian. They'll
Oh,
say
great. You got a report. Oh, coming in from the chat, High Score Run writes, they catch Joe with crack pipe scented candles.
yeah, that's the thing. And I go, no, it's from Wickend Wood. Dear, I hit the D. It worked.
Yeah.
Didn't it, Dave?
Yeah.
That was a great read.
All right. What are some other predictions, Joe? Bold.
Oh, I believe that somebody in our close group is going to discover that they have a food allergy that they didn't have prior.
That's a bold prediction.
And this is what has been causing their strange behavior over the years.
Now,
Oh, man.
would an autoimmune disease count? Like a gluten intolerance or something?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Something
this
like
is the
that.
reason why someone has been whatever, manic or erratic or...
Right. Think about all our friends and think about the behaviors that we witness quite regularly. And what if we found out that it was all because they were allergic to a certain an additive that
Right.
was found in, Cheetos or something.
Right. Okay,
Something
and it
that they
wasn't
eat quite
because of
often.
a mental malfunction.
Yeah.
Not
And
like
you
a
go,
brain
It
worm.
was just It was just a gut. It was just a probiotic issue.
Interesting. I like that one. I like that Joe's have been very realistic. You have any others, Joe?
Uh, yeah. I also think that Vance Gillis will be arrested in Cinema Lemore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you've already apparently made one prediction that's accurate about me.
Yeah.
So odds are your hit rate might hit Vance here.
Quite possibly.
You might be a bit of a soothsayer, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the likelihood of friend of the show Vance Gill is getting arrested in a porno theater is, Dave?
Likelihood. I mean, it depends. Is he being set up?
It doesn't sound like Joe's prediction is it's a sting. I don't think anyone's setting honey
Well,
traps.
this isn't a sting operation. It's just that he went in there and things got out of hand. You know.
And do you mean get caught like maybe he goes and sees a porno and then people see him leaving the theater?
No, I think there's illicit behavior in the theater itself.
Oh, come on, that's
What
not
are you
so
allowed
bad.
to do in there anyway?
There are private rooms. Don't act like you don't know.
No, I really don't know. You know that I've been wanting to go in, but then COVID happened.
Well, why don't we set up like an at-home outing? A bunch of us go together.
I would go. I would go.
Then we can review
Remember that
the
was my
film.
New Year's resolution in 2020.
That was your resolution?
Yeah, I was going to go to Cinema Lemore,
Oh.
and then COVID happened.
Wow. Well,
That's
doesn't
why
mean
this
you
year
can't
it was
cash
to
it in
improve my
2024.
posture. I feel like improving my posture was a better one than going to a porno.
Well, you might be able to improve it in those pesky seats.
Are they uncomfortable?
I'm sure that they must be.
They're ergonomic.
Yeah.
What are you doing to improve your
Make me
posture, Joe?
comfortable. What's that?
What are you doing to improve your posture?
I do this. Every time I think about it, I do this thing where you take your hands and you go like that, keeping your elbows close to your body, and you go like that, and it brings your chest out. Yeah, now put your arms down. Okay. Yeah, you might have gone a little too far.
All right.
But it opens up your chest and it makes you not slump. Because look, I'm aware that I'm a boring person, but I got tall faster than other people, so I often slump, and often when I'm talking to people, I'm much taller than them, so I'm often stooping, and I don't want to be one of those old guys with a humpback. So I'm trying to be aware of my posture at all times. So that's one thing I do whenever I think about it. Another thing I do is I try to imagine a string going all the way up my spine, right through the top of my head, and it makes you elongate your neck. Look how much taller I am when I sit up straight, instead of, ing. You get the idea.
Well, Joe, I want to thank you so much for being here tonight.
Shut up.
Really appreciate it. I love the voiceovers. I love the bold predictions. Any final thoughts before we say goodnight to at least you, Joe?
No, this was fun. I had fun.
Joe,
Yes, sir.
I love you.
Hey, I love you so much. Thanks very much. Dave, I'm very fond of you as well.
I'm fond of you too, Joe.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Thanks, Joe. Have a good rest of the night.
Goodbye.
Dave, you found your thing with Joe. Me and Joe say we love each other. You guys say I'm very fond of you.
Yeah, I think that's accurate to Joe and my relationship. I am quite fond of Joe.
What do you think about those predictions?
I mean, Vance is a mysterious fellow. I feel like he keeps a lot tight close to his chest. I don't
He
know.
hasn't been on this show in years.
He hasn't been on the show in years. I don't know if I'd see him get arrested in a porno theater.
I think the last time he was on this show was maybe late 2022.
Well, he could have been up to
He
a lot since then.
single-handedly defeated you and Andy Asaf in a Christmas quiz.
Oh, that's true, eh?
Yeah. Well, let's keep the show going here, Dave. What do you think? You think we do more show here?
Yeah, why not?
All right. You want to talk about past legends? How about current legends of the at-home world? More bold predictions are on the way, courtesy of the one and the only Sarah Ellis. Sarah, welcome back to the program.
Hi, thanks for having me back.
What'd you think about Joe's voiceovers?
I think he's got chops.
Now, of all the things that he was promoting, the Coors Light iced tea, the White Plains Summer Spectacular Fest, or whatever the hell it was called, or the Wickenwood candles, which of the three would you be most likely to entertain?
Probably the candles.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me
like
too.
a good scented candle. I'm curious about the crack pipe candle.
Yeah, of all the nasty ones, which would you be most
Yeah.
likely to spark up?
Probably probably the crack pipe one because it's not
I,
something I'd ever do. So it's
I,
like, oh, this is
mine
a
would be grandma, I think.
grandma.
Yeah.
That's just baby powder and
Well,
roses.
it's like you can buy kind of those disgusting sodas like pickle soda or hot dog soda. Maybe this is kind of the it's like, well, I can smell grandma. I'm sure there's other scents that are kind of like grandma. You bring up a compelling argument. Dave, which one would you be burning? Crack pipe, wet dog, street meat, or cremation?
I might go. Might be part of the Cream Nation,
Maybe you could buy like a 4-pack this holiday season.
like a variety pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
Joe was saying crack pipe doesn't smell good, but three of us, we probably don't know if it smells good or not.
Yeah.
but don't burn grandma and crack pipe at the same time.
Yeah,
Why
maybe
not?
they don't blend well together. Like a lot of candles are like whatever,
Yeah.
citrus and whatever.
You'd rather
Tree.
burn grandma and cremation at the same time?
Yeah, I think you want to do some scent blends.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Street meat and wet dog,
that works.
crack pipe and mahogany, and then cremation and grandma.
Oh.
Sarah, look, there was no red herring for you. You're here specifically for bold predictions, so we're gonna dig in deep on yours. How many bold predictions do you have?
Summer, it's all well because it's like a prediction, but also like wishful thinking.
Okay. Well,
So
this is cool because last week we did revised resolution, so this is almost like this is the grandma cremation version of the mashup. So let's go with some of the bold predictions off the top here.
um so I have a lot of like family and friend events to go to this year for the end of the year. So I predict that for the first time in 8 years, I get drunk and
Whoa.
embarrass myself in front of loved ones.
You're saying for the first time in 8 years. Does this mean you've been drunk and embarrassed yourself prior at these events?
Uh, at a couple of weddings, yeah.
What do you mean by embarrass yourself? What'd you do? I can't picture it.
Uh, okay, oh God, I had to be like 14 at my cousin's wedding. And I got drunk and told the cute bartender that if I had money, I'd give him a tip.
Whoa, okay.
That's
Dave,
not
what do you think
that
about
bad.
that?
14,
Yeah.
though, that's pretty young to be drunk at a
Yeah.
wedding. I think, I think hopefully the bartender was older
Hot.
and also said no to you.
Well,
Yes.
hold on. I want to know what's your prediction of how you embarrass yourself at one of these upcoming events.
I don't know, maybe like a fall of some
Okay.
sort. Like an attempt to dance. I'm not a big dancer, so I feel like if I'm drunk, I might get loose and like be like, "Oh, I want to dance." And then
Now, do you think you'd be compelled to grab a Coors Light iced tea?
oof, I don't know what percentage.
Me neither. Damn. Okay.
Um,
What would be your drink of choice?
Um, rum and coke would have been my previous go-to,
Yeah.
but it's been 8 years and I've matured. So just maybe straight vodka.
Wow,
Wait.
wow.
So it's been 8 years
Okay.
since you've had a drink, or it's been 8 years since you've gotten drunk?
8 years since I've gotten drunk. I do still occasionally have a little drink.
Okay.
Okay. So that might not end well for you. Drunk
No,
after 8 years.
well, that's it. My tolerance must be like on the floor, and I'm not as young as I was, so my recovery, I expect, will also be
Are you
terrible.
looking to drink through these events because you don't want to be at them, or they kind of they make you groan?
No, I think I'm just going to be so happy for my friends and family. They're all.
Okay.
I think I'm just going to be like not paying attention, and
Now-
just be like another one. Woo!
I think at some point we'll probably have another at-home barbecue. I feel like that would be a great event to get drunk and embarrass yourself at.
You're the only person drinking.
Oh, come on. Dave will be there. He knocks him back.
Oh yeah. I don't know, man.
I did have a beer yesterday.
There you go. Dave's back on the wagon. What did you drink, Dave?
I went to a concert and I had a Heineken can.
What concert was it?
I was at it was a Modest Mouse and the Pixies concert.
I was there.
Oh yeah, no way. I was there too.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I liked it a lot. I don't know why. Did you see Cat Power at the beginning too?
No, I showed up late, so I only showed up halfway through Modest Mouse.
Okay. Well, she had this weird auto-tune thing going on that I was like, oh, this is a choice. But her voice is beautiful. And Pixies, I really like their set. They basically did all of Doolittle, which was nice.
Here comes your man.
They played
All right,
that.
Sarah. What's another? You got any more bold predictions?
I think like so right now the fashion is very 90s for the kids.
Yep.
I think they're going to move past that, and then by the fall it's going to be like mid 2000s emo fashion.
Oh, you think emo is going to come back?
I think that's going to come back. Like I think of the eyeliner and like bangs, big bangs. Big bangs.
There's still some like elder millennials hanging on to that look.
Oh, then it won't come true.
Well,
until they've abandoned it, the kids won't take
but
it.
there's not many. They're last of a dying breed, and it's certainly adapted. It's not as it's not as spread as thick as it once was. I still see some elder emos.
Okay. Well,
what do you think about this one, Dave?
Elder emos?
Going back to your old style.
Emo Phillips. I don't know. Fashion? I don't follow fashion.
What would Dave's fashion? Is he dad core?
I think people have described me as normcore, but I was normcore before normcore existed.
Bro, we usually call you Norm from Cheers because you're always drinking.
Yeah, normcore.
Yeah, okay. What do you think about the idea of emo fashion coming back, Sarah? Are you in or out?
I don't want to participate, but I'd be happy to witness it.
So you weren't part of that scene as a youngster?
A little, like I wanted